Hey guys, Abby from Motor City Nerds here. Let's see what George R. R. Martin had to say at Comic-Con, okay? I know I joke around, I know I kid, I know I make fun of George a little bit over here, but it's because I love the world and I love the story. But, yeah, I haven't looked it up yet because I was waiting to do it with you guys. So let's see what the man himself had to say. It says that there's a couple clips, so let's check this one out.
I don't know.
I'm sure people have made 25 videos off of one sentence.
For the last couple years since COVID hit, I've hardly left my house. I've been, trying to stay away from COVID, and also, you may not know, but there's this book that I'm writing. It's a little late.
George, I'm cheering for you, dude.
Visiting a set or doing anything until I finish and deliver that book, and then if the show's still going, who knows? Maybe I'll show up.
Man, he's good at
I did do a cameo in the original pilot of Game of Thrones, but that they reshot most of the pilot, so I was left on the cutting room floor.
That pilot was trash.
I was supposed to be, at a certain point, a severed head. That scene where Joffrey makes Sansa look at all the severed heads on the walls. I was going to be one of them, but then they found out how expensive it was to make a severed head, and they just bought a box of used severed heads. One of whom was George W. Bush, which got us in a lot of trouble when people noticed it. And I don't think he's there any longer, but if you get one of the old DVDs, you can see that. But
did they really edit that out?
Who knows? Maybe I can yet become a severed head at some point.
Oh, that's kind of cute. But, okay, sir, he's so good at dancing around the question. Or not the question, but, like, what people really want to know. And he's really good at, I'll give him that. I joke around and I kid over here because I love George R. R. Martin. I really do. I love this world. I love A Song of Ice and Fire. I do think that there has been a few times, I'm just going to say it, he can come off in a very arrogant, condescending way. But I just think that maybe sometimes he should listen to his PR people a little bit more of how he words things, because sometimes I'm like, I don't think you mean it this way, but the way you're saying it, it can come off a certain kind of way especially towards your fandom, and your fandom is the reason that you have the ability to now do whatever you want, whether that's TV, video games, books, whatever you want to do. You now have the freedom to do that, which is a dream most people won't have because of the popularity and the fandom that supports you. So it's like, man, when you made those statements before, it was just crappy. It was crappy. It was a crappy way to say it. It was a crappy thing. It was just crappy all around, especially being a part of that fandom. And it's like, no, we just want the end of your story because we love it so much. And it is irritating when you see somebody doing 50 million things. If your friend was like, I can't come to your birthday party because I have these billion other things going on, and then you're like, well, I don't see you doing those other things, and I don't see you, like, why can't you do this? You'd be irritated, right? Like, and so let's just think of it that way on a big scale. So, yeah, it's irritating to the people that love the books. That's all. So I hope that he means it when he says that he's really going to work on it. I think they're done. I think that they've been done, and I think that he's sitting on them, and he's, like, tweaking them a little bit, and or it's been done for a minute, but I'll give him that. He gives the Paul brothers a run for their money. The way that he can just segue off of the topic that you really want to hear about, and that's not a knock against him. That's me just giving you credit where credit is due, George. You are good at that, and you're really good. I've said this in my other videos. He's really good at wording things in a way of going, I'm saying something, but when it comes to the TV show or this or that, the company or this person, and then all of a sudden you're looking over here. He's real good at sleight of hand. You're going, oh yeah, let's look at them. Let's point to them. And then he's like, I'm out scot-free. Because there's just a few instances with that, and I'm not going to bring them all up now. You can watch my other videos where I bring it up, where it's like, you're kind of throwing them under the bus, but you're also leaving the door open to go, look at how great I am. And it's like, buddy, we already love your world. You don't need to do that. And I don't know. I don't think it's fair to put the scrutiny that people, like, especially with the Game of Thrones finale, I don't think it's fair to go, these two people ruined it. Because do you know how many people work on something? And no matter what you work on, I don't care what you do in life. I don't care what it is. If you just are going, no, it's not me, it's them, to everybody that you work with, eventually people might not want to work with you, dude. And then that is another fear I have. And it's because I love this world and I love this guy's work. And I'm just like, I think you either need better PR or you need to listen to them more, because there's just, and I compare it to, like, if you ever talk to somebody who's really, really, really smart and it comes off like they're being condescending, but the truth is they're not, they just are kind of socially off. That's kind of how I feel with George R. R. Martin, where I'm like, do you not hear how you're coming off sometimes? But I will give him that. You just totally deflected out of what am I doing about the book territory, and don't blame me for the show territory, all with 1 minute of a clip. I think it's adorable how he's talking about how he wanted that cameo. I think that is cute. But when he says, if the show's still going by then, we'll see, because I'm so busy working on the book. Okay. Okay, well, I'll believe it when I see it, you know, like, or hear bigger news about it. Like I said, I'm sure there's 25 channels that have made 80 videos off of a minute-long clip, but let's see the next one. But like I said, I give him mad credit for going and keeping us all entertained. That's a skill all on its own.
At the beginning, because you know, these books, these characters are like my kids. And when you give your kid to people for adoption, you wonder how they will be treated.
I'll give him that.
Will they be,
That's fair.
You know, will you recognize them when they come back to you and all that? But I've
love
been
him. I do.
very, very fortunate here. I think Ryan has done a great job of
irritates
adapting
me.
the book so far. And
See, look,
thank
that's
you.
what I mean. That's what I mean.
And
That's exactly what I mean right there, going so far, and that way, in the future, if people get upset, you can go, remember I said this thing? I don't think that's fair or nice to do. I really don't. I just don't like that.
The cast here is amazing. I haven't had a chance to meet them, unfortunately.
But the way he
With
talks
COVID, I
about
didn't
his
get
work
to
is
visit
so,
the set and
I love
hang
it.
around
It's
as
so
I
sweet
did,
to see.
on a certain other show in the past.
Wow.
I've seen 9 of the 10
Wow.
episodes, and it's pretty amazing. Pretty
You're
amazing.
gonna-
I'm really very happy.
Yeah? Are you? We'll see. We'll see, bud.
Ryan, you mentioned all those.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't think that's fair to do. So we didn't get that. I mean, I'm sure there's more out there. I'm sure there's other channels that have gone way in deeper about this. But like I said, I don't like when he does that. I don't like when he's like, oh, I'm loving it. And then, okay, I've talked about this in detail. Your show was #1 in the world. Whether or not the ending was, I don't hate the ending of Game of Thrones. I'm going to go right out and say it there. I have videos on it. I talk all about it. How we got there, the pacing was wrong, and making a hard right back into the real world after dealing with White Walkers and stuff, that was too jarring, I feel like. It was like making a U-turn and being like, wait, how did we get here? I go into detail about that on several videos. You can go and check them out over on the channel. Remember to subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all the new subscribers. But anyway, I talk all about that. And just because people on the internet were salty doesn't mean that you should just flat out shit on it in front of millions of people at Comic-Con. Like, why are you throwing shade at your own product? Like, you can still be unhappy with it, but like, just I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I think that's just, like I said, if you want to continue, I don't care what you do, whatever industry you're in, if you just continue to go like, oh, well, I have hope for it, but the second things go left on the internet, you go, no, I never said that. I'm not a part of it. Oh, remember I said it could have been good. I didn't say it would be. And then you just keep like throwing other people under the bus. Who's going to want to work with you eventually? Like, if I'm just saying, like, that's a serious possibility. Like, I have concerns about House of the Dragon. I'm super stoked for it, but I do have concerns for it. But once again, I didn't think we were going to get any information here. We didn't get any information here. He's still working on the book. He's backing House of the Dragon apparently more than he did Game of Thrones. I don't think that's cool to do publicly. Like I said, I think he just needs a good PR person that knows how to handle him and is like, I don't know, because this can just come off a certain kind of way in my opinion, but you can tell me what you think down in the comments below. And yeah, welcome to Motor City Nerds. And yeah, I don't know, George. I don't think some of the ways you handle things is cool. That's all. But I love your world. I love your story, and I hope we get Winds of Winter ever.